Kathy, my wife, was saying to me just the other day how ticked she was. She was driving across Toronto, and Toronto, you know, we got about 40 lanes.
Right.
we got more lanes than LA does. Anyway, she was ticked because of all the truck traffic. I said, well, I understand that, Kath, but understand that that's a sign of the vitality of our economy.
Right. That's right.
When you got lots of trucks, you got a solid economy.
That's right.
Because they're the ones that make it happen.
Yep.
You don't have anything, nor do I, that didn't come on a truck.
That's right. That's right.
What about the mail truck?
The mail truck. These are the people that make frequent stops.
Not because of prostate trouble?
No. And what the mail trucks are all about is delivering to people what they need. So it may be relational needs, it might be tasks that need to be done, but this person goes from one person to another, making sure those people have what they need. So a lot of these people are in helping professions, a lot of them are counselors, a lot of them are vice presidents, because they want to make sure you've got what you need, and once they know you've got what you need, they move on to the next person. And they're not going to stay with you beyond your need, because once we deliver the mail, it's time to move on. And so these are the people that they're constantly in motion, and they're going from person to person, making sure everybody's got what they need. And some of them move slowly in between people. Some of them are, you know, like the FedEx, UPS drivers, and they're screaming between people. So they might be moving quickly, they might be moving slow, but the point of the mail truck is they're going from person to person, making sure that the individual people are able to accomplish what they need to accomplish.
Is there a relational factor there?
Well, it could be either relational or task.
Or task.
Yeah, because you know, I've had a couple secretaries along the way who were just really good at making sure the people she was responsible for, that all their tasks were taken care of.
Yeah.
And relationally, wasn't so adept, but got the stuff done.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a highly relational person, you've got somebody there doing the stuff, but that person's extremely valuable to you.
The tractor?
The tractor. Now, the tractors, they have one pace, and it's slow.
Right.
And you can tell tractors to speed up, and they'll say, okay. And then they just keep moving at the same pace.
Moving slow.
Okay, so these are slow-moving, very deliberate people. They don't want to run fast. They don't necessarily want to run to big opportunities. They're all about, I need to do what's in front of me. And I need to do it well, and I need to do it right. And we get very frustrated with the tractors because we live in such a fast society that we think everybody ought to be moving fast, and that it's almost a spiritual virtue to move fast.
Yeah.
But some of the most important work on earth gets done by tractors.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, all of us eat because tractors did their work slowly and deliberately. Yeah. And during the winter, the roads get cleared because the tractors do their work.
That's right.
And they're slower and deliberate. Like I was just recently, last Christmas, I joined my family in Virginia the day that huge snowstorm hit the eastern coast. And we made it to within a half a mile of our condominium and couldn't get any closer. We had to actually get delivered to our condominium by the ski patrol. And the next day, completely snowed in. The next day, we had the opportunity to go dig our car out, but there's 18 inches of snow on the ground. Yeah. You know, in trying to get to my car, I'm not looking for a sports car at this point. No. I'm not looking for a muscle car. No. I'm looking for a tractor to clear the roads and clear the parking lot so I can get down to my car. And so there's times in life that we just need the slow-moving, deliberate individual to take care of some of the most important work on earth that needs to be done slowly and deliberately.
You know, when I was reading your book, I was thinking about some of the women who've married these guys. And I thought I was marrying a muscle car, and I married a tractor. Yeah. And we all have to make adjustments, right? And I also think that there are aspects of all of these vehicles in each of us. I mean,
well, we all have to adjust to life. So there's times that we need to run at the different paces. The point I'm trying to make is that you have a pace at which you run best, and you want to be at that pace most of the time. Yeah. But if you're going to be in a relationship with other people, you have to learn how to run at the other paces. But every time you get off pace, it's going to take energy from you.
We've got about 4 minutes, and I just want to, for the sake of you know, the viewer, he's got several decisions here. Among them, decide to seek an adventure, decide to be competitive, decide to set goals, decide to be busy, decide to be better. I like that one. Decide to love. I'm strong on that one. Love is a function of decision. Yes. Right. Decide to be a friend of God, decide to be a man of principle, decide to be a role model. But in 4 minutes, the first one I thought was critical. Decide to be decisive.
Exactly. I have spent my life watching the differences between men. Like, there are some men that are highly effective, and they just seem to get more done in a shorter amount of time than everybody else is getting done. And I asked the question, what is the difference? Because like, in terms of character, I'm looking at these men over here, and these are good guys. I'm looking at these men over here, good guys. Why are these guys getting more done? And what I realized is that the difference between it is your ability to make decisions. Because what decisions do is they line up the resources of our life. Like if you figure out what's true in life, if you intellectually agree with that but don't decide to do it, it creates this disconnect in your life. So your intellectual energy is going this direction, but the energy of your will is moving in a different direction. And what we see is a lot of men living distracted lives. If you ask them, do you believe the Bible's true? Do you believe that you ought to live a strong life? Do you believe that you ought to tell the truth? They'll say, yeah, I agree with that. But if they don't make decisions to actually do it, it disconnects their resources. And when you take what you know to be true, you decide to do it, it pulls your emotional energy in line. So your mind, will, and emotions all get in line, focused at what God wants to do in your life, and it makes you a stronger individual. And I realized, now there's some tough decisions in life. I mean, there are some things that really just make you wrinkle your forehead, and you're like, what do I do? But most decisions in life are actually pretty clear, intellectually. The best biblical example I know is Joshua 24:15. We all quote it. As for me and my house. Well, before Joshua made that statement, he said, guys, you all have a decision to make. Okay, we're all going to our homes. We're going to settle our land. You have a decision to make. You either need to choose to worship the living God who created everything, brought us through Jericho, has led us in victory, or you need to worship the gods of your fathers who are inanimate objects. They're idols. Now, if I were to ask you today, Jim, okay, intellectually, what's better, to worship the living God or to worship this table?
No brainer.
See, intellectually, it's easy.
Yeah.
But the decision makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Because when you decide, okay, I know this is true, I'm going to decide to do that, all your emotional energy lines up behind it, and now you're focused. And what's happening too often in men's lives is we can intellectually say what's right, but we haven't developed the ability to decide to do that. And it creates this distracted life, and as a result, we have a lot of men that are bored, a lot of men that are confused, a lot of men that they want to do right in life, they're just not sure how to get there. And it starts with, when I see something that's true, I'm going to decide to do it.
You know, back in Canada, we call it Remembrance Day. In the U.S., you call it Veterans Day. But on that day, I interviewed a historian of the First World War, Vimy Ridge, specifically, where, you know, the British and the Americans, or the British and the French had tried unsuccessfully for 3 years to take the ridge. The Canadians came in, and in 8 hours they took it. Right. But it wasn't without a lot of preparation and the brilliance of General Currie, who never lost a battle and was loath to lose a man. Anyway, he was talking about all of this in the context of decision making. Yes. And he said a lot of us are afraid to make decisions because we don't want to make the wrong decision. He said, when you make decisions, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. But if you don't make a decision, you're always wrong. Yeah. And you live in emotional turmoil. Yeah. And then it creates confusion. The more confused you are, the worse you are at decision making, which creates more emotional turmoil, and it just creates this vicious cycle. Well, you and I should be talking for a whole week. I wish we could. Maybe sometime you can come back and we can do a series. But the book, friends, is called The 10 Best Decisions a Man Can Make. Bill Farrel is the author. Harvest House is the publisher. There it is on the screen. And there's a lot of bookstores that you can go to and find it there. It's really well worth the read. Thanks for coming away, Bill.
Jim, thanks for deciding to have me on.
Hey, it's a pleasure. We'll be back with more right after this.